Hey everyone, this is GamingDads here. I'm going to show you a video on how to do Space Race, give you some tips and tricks, strategies, and so forth. So first thing, I would say that Space Race is going to be loadout dependent. That's your big way to win the race. So in a perfect world, I would say your optimal loadout for Space Race would be triple, then bat, and those two things because you're just going to get the most speed so you can pick up the most rocket fuel from those gates with that thing. I guess with those with that loadout. Sorry. So then beyond that, your champion and your ultimate. For your ultimate, I would recommend the summon gate just because that's going to give you the ability to increase your throughput and then multiply your mobs to get even more out of your rocket fuel pickup. A good way to look at this would be that if you have a challenging map, if you can't do it without the summon gate, having the summon gate there would definitely help you get that done. Some of those maps may have like a slow path and a fast path, and if you do the fast path, you're going to want to try to pick up as much as you can as quickly as possible, and the summon gate is going to help make that happen. Last but not least, the champions. In my opinion, the champions is basically anybody but the Great Normie. I don't think the Great Normie is going to help you do much for a space race. It's more of a looting champion, so I would avoid him. But really, anybody else I would recommend. I think the champion in a space race is going to help you charge up your meter so that you can get your summon gate to get more rocket fuel faster. So whatever playstyle you have and whatever champion you're used to, I would use that. If you know of a champion that gets you a good charge to get your ultimates faster, go with that. For me, I think that the ones that get you the charge the fastest would probably be Captain Kaboom, because once he gets off that bomb and starts shooting things up, he charges up the meter pretty quick. And then you've got Lootboxer. He's definitely going to charge things up faster. You could even make the case that Mobzilla does as well, but he's slow, so I'd avoid him. It would get the job done, but I think there's better champions for that. Just kind of give you some examples. For me, though, personally, what I do is I've been trying to level up my champions during the space race, so that's how I leveled up Starscream, and now I'm working on Megatron, just slowly but surely grinding my XP up. So that's who I'll use in the videos, is Megatron, just because I'm trying to get him up to a higher level and max him out. So that said, that's our loadout. We're going to do triple, bat, Megatron, and Summon Gate, and just do a round here to show you how this works. Now, in terms of boost, there's really two ways to go about doing this. You can do the 2x for the firing rate, which would be the second one from the right, or you can do the extra cannon. I think extra cannon is going to be the one that gives you the most bang for your buck. So I'll go ahead and do that for this and the other battles I show you throughout the course of this video. So let's go ahead and charge that up. All right, so we are charged up. Green check mark on the extra cannon. Let's go. And you know what? I don't see rocket fuel on this. That might be a glitch. Let's go ahead and pause and try. Oh, there it goes. It popped up. Looks like we had a gate that needed to be converted. So this map is going to be pretty fast. I don't know if I'm going to get everything here. No, probably not. So it happened pretty fast. I'll do another battle. But that actually brings up a good point here. And that would be that since the advent of Overdrive, you'll notice that the environment clears out. So you actually don't get that residual rocket fuel pickup anymore from where things used to kind of flow through it after you won and the looting was happening. That doesn't happen anymore. So that does change gameplay, makes it tougher to get your rocket fuel. So let's go ahead and get this ×4. And we'll try that loadout one more time because really this is the ideal loadout. You're going to have to be careful. Sometimes you just win too fast. So you almost have to hold back on how you attack the base until you get your fuel. And then once you get the fuel, then finish it out as quick as you can. Let's do one more. Oh, of course it's this. Let me pause here. Okay, we breezed through that garden party. Now we're going to go ahead and try another battle here. I'm assuming that, you know what, whenever you bring these battles up, you don't really see where the fuel is anymore, so you have to make some educated guesses as to how you want to attack this. I'm going to use extra cannon, so let's just get that green check going. All right, we're back. We're going to start out going to the right. That's where the tower is at. All right, good enough. Now let's get this cranked here. Now these mobs are going to go straight up the left and start circling back around on the other side of the tower. So we may win this pretty fast. I see the knights coming down to the right. And this looks like the balance is going okay. I'm going to hold off on my champion because I want to try to get all this fuel. And that's about as close as we're going to get. Let's go ahead and release him. Perfect. So we got it. Now we finish this thing out as quickly as possible. When you select a champion, you want to get out of that round, that map. Since you're done, you're done. There's no sense in prolonging it. And that's one benefit of Megatron. Not everybody will have him, but when you convert to the tank like you saw, that targets the towers specifically, gets you out that much faster. So it's kind of nice. Of course, if there's other stuff on there like red walls with numbers, he targets those before the towers, so it comes at a cost. But just so you know a little bit of what I'm doing there. So anyways, that loadout, triple, bat, your champion, and summon gate, it's going to serve you well. But there's a limitation there, and that would be not everybody has the triple. So if you're not a member of Elite or the VIP club, I had to think about what it was called, then you won't be able to use the triple. So you have to think about, well, what can I do next? Well, you can do the double. I'll be honest with you, I don't use the double that often. You know, I first started out, I did that. So we'll go ahead and do a demo with the double. In all honesty, this is going to be a tough one, just because double's kind of slow. So we'll go ahead and look at this. We got 3 lanes, so we're going to try this. This may be ugly, but just to give you a demo of that. So double, bat, Megatron, and summon gate for the purposes of getting fuel. So let's go ahead and get this extra cannon. That would conceivably get us 4 streams of mobs as opposed to the 6 that you saw with the triple and the extra cannon boost. All right, here we go. I've not used the double in a minute, so let's just see how this goes. Hopefully I can get a champion to keep some of these walls back. Once you get the... You see, this is the thing. So, I'm probably going to home out of this, but it's worth noting that both the triple and the double have the problem that you just saw with the double. And that would be that they don't have that fire buff to them. So when you get a board that is challenging, it's kind of hard to get through it. So that's why I use a different loadout than what I've showed you so far. And let's go ahead and just show you that loadout now. I've basically taken what I think I should use, or could use, versus what I should use. So let's revive, get through this, and I'll show you what I mean. Alright, so we're back, we've revived, and let's just go ahead and home into that. Top left. So, the double and the triple. No buff. When you get a strong mob, you get your butt kicked, pretty much. So what I've been doing lately is I've been using the Flamethrower. It's stronger, and I don't like having to change my loadouts back and forth all the time. I like something that works for most situations. It's not perfect, but it gets you by. So if you have the Flamethrower, go for that. You don't necessarily have to do the double, but with 4 streams, it might be good for getting that rocket fuel. Flamethrower will help too, because you can use the double and get 2 streams. Instead of bat, I'm going to go ninja, because I like to just get him a little bit stronger. He's still pretty fast, 167 speed versus 173 speed, so it helps you a little bit with some of the stronger mobs. I'll keep Megatron, I'll keep Summon Gate, but this is the loadout that I've been personally using. The champion is really the main thing as far as you can use whatever you want. I use this because I'm trying to level up, and I like that siege tank capability. At least until I max it out, then I'll probably go to Optimus Prime. If I don't use Flamethrower, I do use triple, but sometimes I get pretty frustrated by getting overwhelmed and getting back to down. So here lately I've just been on a Flamethrower kick. So, one more demo, and we're going to show you how this would work. We're going to do the extra cannon boost, and we're going to pick up some rocket fuel. So let me get that boosted up here. All right, we're back. We got the extra cannon for the Flamethrower. Let's get some rocket fuel. We lucked out. You see that, how it's on the top gate? We're going to get that in no time. If it had been on the bottom, then we probably would just not rotate with the gate. You know what I mean? That way we have a little extra time. You would just say be over here instead of over there, that sort of thing. Just to avoid winning too fast, but that was not a problem. We may do one more just to show you that. But this is ideal. This is what you want to have for your space race maps. Just knock them out real quick. ideal placement for the gate and so forth. We'll try to do another one and see if we can get less than ideal, just to show you the gameplay that would get you some extra fuel pickup during the map. Okay. Oh, and you know, it's worth noting that playing during 2x will double your rocket fuel. So you saw you get about maybe 2,000 and some change there. You can get 4,000 and some change during your 2x bonus. So keep that in mind from a timing perspective. Maybe just drop in once an hour to get your fuel. All right, one more. And this one's going to be one of those duels. So we're going to do the double cannon. And, yeah. Let's see what we get here. All right, we're back. There's no telling where this is going to be. So what I'm going to try to do is just really evenly spread between the 3 gates. And I'll focus on the one with the rocket fuel once I've got a good wall to keep myself from getting overwhelmed. So here we go. All right. This is going to be tough, man. We might lose out. Yeah, it's going to be pretty fast. And, you know, sometimes that's just the way it goes. If I had used a triple, I probably would have gotten a lot more, if not all of it. Never even had a chance to get my summon gate off, and sometimes the maps are like that. Now, one strategy I can part your way would be, I've heard that there's players out there who would lose intentionally and then revive so that they can go back and get the rest of their fuel. And that's a viable method. You could try that. There's a time cost, though. So if you want to spend the time to get that extra fuel, then be my guest. For me personally, I like to keep moving. I feel like that I got 1,000 there. It's not what I wanted, but it's certainly not 0. In which case I can just keep going and get to the next board and just kind of almost speed run my way through the space race. So keep that in mind. You know, try to weigh the cost versus the benefits and see how that works for you. I would love to hear your comments and your strategies about how you're doing this. Yeah, if you have any questions or concerns, feel free to drop a comment. I'd like to hear what your loadouts are. If you try my loadout recommendations and they work for you, I'd like to hear that too. Feel free to subscribe for more updates. As far as what a good level is for Space Race, I'm in about the 12 billion range right now. That's decent. On a good race, I'd probably get 20 to 25. I've almost gotten 30. I've seen people get upwards of 75 to 100 on Discord. I think that there's definitely some gameplay, a little bit of luck, but time. I think time is the major factor there. So if you have like a day off and you're willing to just play nonstop, you can get up there, and you'll definitely get some good rewards for it. But if you've got a work-life balance that you're trying to put in there along with the game, I would say anywhere between 10 and 20 is a pretty good day for that. If everyone else in your clan does 10 to 20, you'll have some pretty good rewards. So keep that in mind. You know, time, strategy, playing with the bonuses and so forth, that's going to be what gets you your ideal rewards. So, yeah, in the meantime, that's all I got. I can make a part 2 if there's anything that you feel like I missed. Just drop me comments, and we'll go from there. In the meantime, though, this has been another victory for Gaming Dads. Gaming Dads out.